Hello, everyone. It's Jana here with HSRA, and we are coming to you from our offices, right? We've got Miss Lisa Pelc with us from Bella Casa. She's got an incredible company in Florida, and we're going to talk with her and talk about, some of the topics for our upcoming summit. So welcome, Miss Lisa.
Thank you. Thank you. Great to be here, Jana. Can't wait.
I'm excited to talk with you, and we go back quite a ways. We have some kindred spirit on, corporate America and all that good stuff. And now look at us. We're staging. We own businesses, and we get to just write our own destiny. How's that?
That's a good way to put it, and it's a journey for sure.
Yeah, it's been a journey, right? So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about yourself and, starting out in industry, kind of where you guys are today, what your big, your joys of home staging have been.
All right. So like Jana said, my name is Lisa Pelc, and I own Bella Casa Staging and Redesign in Melbourne, Florida. And we started 5 years ago as a crazy jumping off the corporate bandwagon to, start something that I had no idea about. So it's probably good that I didn't know what I know now, because things probably would be different, but it has been a great ride. It's been every day a very much of a learning experience. We're doing really well. We've grown probably about 30 to 45% every year. Last year, we grew 80%, which is kind of crazy. But I just think there's a lot of reasons for that. I think the market changed, and I think my particular area, there wasn't a lot of competition and a lot of quality stagers. And so I think the market really was yearning for a higher quality product, and the more that word got out, the more agents talked about us and actually walked through the houses that we staged. So it's all great. It's still a learning experience, just having to understand and learn about marketing and storage and warehouses and logistics, and it's crazy. So but I'm excited to share everything that I know and I've learned, so hopefully at least one person out there can at least gain some valuable knowledge and not stumble through the same things that I stumbled through.
Well, that's all why we're here, part of HSRA, and you're actually on our board of advisors, and you have a great business knowledge that you get to kind of glean from. And even though it's, sometimes we feel like we're just on this journey we don't even know where it's going to end up. We just kind of deal day to day with our challenges, try to learn and grow from those. And one reason we have Summit and we have our events through HSRA is to take those moments and share. And a lot of times it's sharing what not to do. We're sharing to help other people save time, save money, and save the frustration out of trying it ourselves and going through that learning curve. And I know for some of our topics you're going to be helping out with, one of them is talking about, protecting our business and making sure that we have kind of our ducks in a row in certain areas. You want to expand a little bit on that topic and maybe some of those takeaways?
Yeah, I'm going to be talking about a few different things in this section on saving money with wholesalers, with saving time with organizations and storage, and how to protect your company through safety and OSHA regulations. So those of you who don't know what OSHA is, that's kind of my forte. When I was in corporate America, I worked in environmental health and safety and industrial engineering, and we dealt a lot with OSHA, and that was manufacturing. OSHA stands for the Occupational Safety and Health Administration. Now, that is a national organization that has standards for service companies and manufacturing companies to keep their workers safe. And there's a lot of laws and regulations that they have come up with based on information that they know and things that have happened, so that they don't continue to happen. So every state has different laws and regulations. So mostly, I think as stagers, what we are concerned or should be concerned with is in our warehouse and when we're out in a property. So a warehouse really would be treated under logistics and warehousing if you look up OSHA regulations. They have a great website. Anybody can access the information. There's training. Probably don't have to go through all that, but you can essentially just, type in logistics and warehousing, OSHA regulations, and it'll come up with, here are the things to be cognizant of in case somebody calls an OSHA auditor. Silly things that we don't think about, like if you have a warehouse, there's an electrical panel that you have to have 3 feet of clearance in front of that in the event something shorts out. You have to be able, or there's an emergency where you have to shut down the power within your warehouse, you need to be able to access that point. Emergency exit signs is another one. Again, it seems a little bit overkill for our industry, but freaky things happen, and it's just good to just arm yourself with knowledge and to understand, at least as a general outline, what to be looking at. So anything else you want me to talk about with the OSHA standards?
I think that that's huge, and it is something that, we don't hear a whole lot about in our industry, but no matter how large we are and we've got a warehouse, there are things that we need to be cognizant of, what our exit, if there's an emergency, what's your process, right? With any type of emergency, and making sure that everybody is protected, I think it is huge. And when it comes to, we so much think about the client, but we don't necessarily put our eyes inwards and say, hey, what are some proactive things that we can do? So I can't wait for that session. I think it's going to be a game changer, and it's definitely going to be new and relevant to anything that we've done here in the past. So huge.
Yeah.
With that. Do you feel like people will come away with at least a little bit more knowledge on the warehousing suppliers and knowing how to protect themselves?
Yeah, I think it's like you said, we don't really think about that as staging companies, but I do think, at least it's on your radar, and you know where to go for more information. If you think, oh, it doesn't apply to you now because you don't have a warehouse, maybe you just have a storage unit, or you're doing shopping out of your own garage, or wherever you are in the staging world, there's still things that you need to be aware of, and as well as when you start to have people work for you or people driving, and so I think that'll be really helpful and just kind of add another level of depth to your business.
Yeah, that's so true. I mean, and just a very huge specific, if you're talking like, okay, what's the real staging businesses? I'm filling out right here an audit for our insurance company, and the questions that they ask about, your labor, your contractors, your material costs, your quarterly reporting, your officers, partners, members, the payroll information, it's like, if you don't have things all in order, you could be paying more for insurance, or you could be paying rates that could be lessened. So, even these insurance companies kind of do their own audits to be able to help save us money and help reduce, because they're asking, what is their job operation that they're performing? Do you have a general liability insurance certificate from your subcontractors? Those type things. It's all about protection, and it's all about, doing business the right way. So lots of stuff as a business owner that we didn't think we were signing up for.
That's a good point. So we'll hit the highlights and hopefully give you guys info that you can take back.
Yeah, it's exciting. And I know you're also joining us for another session called Drop the Mic, and it's talking about, social media game. It's talking about branding and your clients really being able to connect. So what do you think that some key takeaways will be for that session?
So this one could be actually a day-long seminar within itself, because I'm telling you, I know, I think, enough to be dangerous about marketing, just from my own yearning to understand and learn and to do better. And then I meet every month with the Small Business Administration, the guy who runs that, who is like, he's a retired exec from Xerox in Rochester, New York. Awesome guy. So just in talking to other people who are really, really good at marketing and in the social media platforms. So I'll say it as a very high level. There's the takeaways. We're going to talk about inbound marketing versus outbound marketing. With all the things that I've learned, the more books you read and you listen to, it can become a little bit jumbled, and it's hard to sort on like, what does all this mean? So I decided to just like put it to the basics. We're going to talk about inbound marketing, which is essentially anything electronic or written or video or, all your social media platforms. I'm going to give you guys a list of that. And when you do inbound marketing, what is the goal? So everything we do has to have a goal. So if you just throw it on the wall, see if it sticks, that's probably not going to get the most bang for your buck. So I'm going to go through really what you should be asking yourself at a very high level anytime that you do any type of marketing, whether it's inbound or outbound. So outbound marketing, you guys will learn a little bit about what that is. And basically all that is face-to-face. It's face-to-face communication. It's shaking somebody's hand, looking at somebody in the eyeballs, and just like making sure that you're creating a relationship and a sense of trust and where they know you. That's super important. And what's really important is to have a balance of both. So we're going to talk a little bit about what the ratio should be to be successful and different things when you're doing your outbound marketing. Again, what are the goals and what are some ideas that you could do? The social media strategy. So now I'm going back to inbound. I'm going to give you guys 5 highlights that you should be aware of for Facebook, because Facebook changes every day. It seems like It's like, oh, I finally got it down, and then it changes again. So instead of like wasting and spinning your wheels, I'm going to show you where to go to understand Facebook and when they're going to be changing their algorithms and when they're doing it, and so you guys can keep up with that. How to look at analytics. Facebook, again, that could be a 4-hour seminar. So I'm going to give you guys 5 highlights on that, and then 5 highlights on Instagram as well. I'll tell you what, just from an own personal standpoint, I started I've always had an Instagram page, but it was a personal page, and I did a business page, and I get much more engagement in Instagram. So, which Facebook owns Instagram, so go figure. I don't know. But we're going to go through five highlights on there, what you guys should be aware of, and how to do analytics and how to put all that on your website. Pinterest, you guys all know what Pinterest is. That's a huge platform, but I don't think we as stagers really utilize that. And I'm going to go through, the what and the why and how to use Pinterest to grow your business. And there's a ton. Google My Business, that's another big one. LinkedIn, that's another big one. And videos, how and what should you be looking at when you do videos?
Yeah. That's so good. There's a lot of stuff there. And I know as business owners are like, how do we do it all? And I think that it's about balance. It's about understanding what's most important and what's going to get your most reach, best bang for your buck, where to spend, where to invest money so that you can show up because the way that you market your business today is not the old school way. But like you said, inbound, outbound, you've got to have a mix of both because you cannot ignore the power of relationship, the power of a handshake, the power of meeting someone face to face. So it's about meeting the right people with the right message and somebody that's going to be able to, help you, that you can help, and that's going to be able to hopefully reciprocate. But it does start with connecting with those right people because we only have a few, hours in the day, and how are we spending that wisely? Otherwise, any of those platforms can just suck us up, into the black hole.
I mean, you guys know, like when you go on Facebook or Instagram, it's like, 30 minutes swings by and you're like, oh my gosh, that was such a sucking of time.
Exactly.
And I got nothing from it. So it's really easy, like in the nighttime hours when you're done doing the physical stuff and running the business, to really kind of hone your expertise on the social media. To me, that's kind of the best time to do it and just learn, ask questions. And I'll also be sharing a few resources on where you can get different information on social media to keep up with kind of the latest trends and different apps and just things to make your life easier. So that's
That's
going to be
so good.
really exciting to share with you guys.
I cannot wait. I know our attendees many times they have to weigh the cost versus releasing it as an investment. I've got to find someone. I have to either shut down the business, find someone to take my place. There's cost to the travel and the hotel and the event ticket, and so if that's all $1,000 or so is the information I'm going to learn, at least add one more job to my business, two jobs to my business to make up for that investment. And I absolutely think the answer is yes. You're going to learn much, much more that you can implement. So what is it for you, Lisa, the value of attending an event, and what takeaways? I mean, how do you answer those questions of, is it worth it? And then whenever you obviously say the answer is yes, because you come to events, but how do you then take that from the idea into execution? I mean, what's the value of all that?
So like any other industry, you have to invest in yourself. You have to invest in expanding your knowledge. And I'll tell you, when you come to an event like this, not only is it's a concentrated amount of information in one place, and you can get your questions answered by people who have kind of been in the trenches for, 5, 10, 15 years, and that you may not have known were available to you to ask the question. So instead of, I think sometimes when you own your own business, you end up swirling in your own head and you don't necessarily have the team around you when you're first starting. And when you go to an event like this, not only do you make the relationships and the connections and just the networking and just HSRA is really about lifting you guys up and helping you grow to that next level instead of trying to do, just say, hey, be a part of this. It's a very educational focus. And again, if there's something specifically that you feel that is maybe not your strong suit, this is a great place to step it up and just get smart in that area. And even at the end of it, if you don't know everything you wanted to know, at least you'll have contacts and a network of people to kind of process and go back and ask those specific questions. And, and that's a good way to look at it, Jana. If you say, okay, I'm going to spend, let's say $1,600 doing this, and I'm going to be gone for 4 days. So for that $1,600 investment, if I gain all of this knowledge in 4 days, and I go back and I implement 2 out of the 10 things that you learned, and now you have just gotten 4 more jobs, I mean, you've gotten a huge return on your investment, and you're smarter and more motivated, and just, you have a little bit more strength to go on to the next day. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, that's so true. And I know every event that we invest in and attend, and our goal is to just plug and play those key things that are going to, be the 5-figure, it literally can incrementally increase our business to that next level. So I think that it's huge whenever you're able to sit in a room with other people that are on the same learning journey as you, and those that have maybe achieved some key things that are ready to share, and they're willing. There's no, I'm going to hold this back, but I'm just going to share with you. I think that's the beauty of HSRA, is we just create that platform for people to learn, grow, and share. That's been our big motto for so long, and it's just awesome. It's awesome to see that, and it's awesome to see businesses that have broken records continue to break records, and allow people to think about their exit strategy. I would say that the people that are drawn to HSRA are either a solo stager looking to grow a team, or they have a team and they're looking to maybe take themselves more out of the business and train up their team to run the business without them. And to do that, that's just a whole nother level. When you're trying to get there, all of this, the challenges become a little greater, a little deeper. So it's like navigating those things. I would rather have somebody that's been through the journey and can help me, achieve even greater than they have achieved. So I think it's huge. It's a great resource. It's a great place to gain knowledge and then grow relationship. And just to hear you talk about some of those key things about protection, about where to purchase inventory, how to grow my business to the next level through social media platforms, where to spend my time and invest it wisely. I think it's just going to be a game changer for people. So any last minute thoughts?
No, I think, if nothing else, you guys will take away you're not the lone man on the island, and that we're a community that bands together and will just answer any question you have to kind of keep you motivated. And that's the biggest thing, is you are going to come away. If you come to HSRA conference or the summit in tears because you're so frustrated and overwhelmed, you will leave a renewed, rejuvenated person in business, and you're going to be so thankful that you came.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, and I think it's going to be huge for this year. It's trumped every year. Every year it's the best year ever, and then it just keeps going. So we're thrilled and excited. Come join us in November for our summit. We're going to be there. It's the 1st and the 3rd. I mean, you can come do a VIP tour of our facility, and then of course join us for the 2 main days of the event downtown Dallas. And then all of our other events, if you're watching this and it's even been past the time of summit, I mean, we have that every November here in Dallas, but then we also have our other events. You can go to myhsra.com and just click on events and see where we're going to be. I know we've been in Florida for several events, so we try to make it out to you guys as well. You don't have to come here. We save you some expenses. And it's just about creating that level of learning that people are excited to learn, grow, and share from. So thank you, Lisa, for being part of everything that we do, and look forward to seeing you here in a couple of months.
Me too. Thank you. Look forward to seeing you guys.
We'll see you soon.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.